everybody, look who it is. It's Sarah Jontek. Hey, welcome to the Pack 5 studio.
Hey, sorry, can I just be a massive diva? Can I get a cushion for my back?
Yeah, sure.
Thanks.
No worries, but we produce everything here at the Pack 5 studio.
Well, while I'm at it, can I have a cheeseburger?
Of course. Oh, gee whiz. All right. There we go. Like I said, we can produce anything. Oh, look.
Oh, thanks.
That is rank. Anyway, there you go.
What about a packet of kettle chips?
Of course.
Speaking camembert.
Of course. There you go.
There you go.
Mate, we aim to please here at the Pack 5 studio.
Set
I
up.
was actually really keen for a cheeseburger and then it went on the ground. Hey, it is so good to have you here. Obviously, as has been pointed out a few times, you are pregnant.
I am.
Number 2.
Yeah, number 2, I've already got a little girl, Elle, so she's 18 months. And number 2 on the way, another girl.
Nice. I'm a bit of an expert in terms of when it comes to having babies. I've got 2 myself.
Okay, you give me all the labour tips.
Well, when I say I'm an expert in having babies, my wife has actually had a couple of babies. Well, I have 2 children. You looking forward to having number 2? What's exciting you about that?
Yeah, definitely. I'm excited for Elle to have a sister, and yeah, I'm excited for the little cute newborn stage again, although there's good and bad that comes with that, but yeah, pretty keen. I know that Mike is looking forward to, but also probably a bit terrified of being outnumbered completely by women. So yeah, keen to just up that number on him one more time.
Yeah, cool. So Mike is your husband. You guys were youth leaders at Christ Central not that long ago. Shout out to those of you that were in Mike and Sarah's groups. But, as you kind of think about, being a follower of Jesus now, how did that journey kind of start for you in terms of, we were talking a bit earlier about your parents and that sort of influence. Yeah, talk to us a bit about how, I guess, the beginnings of that journey started.
Yeah, so, Mum and Dad always taught us about God and Jesus. I'm heaps thankful for that. Grew up going to church. So God was part of my life from a young age, and I did have a sense when I was young, even though I probably didn't understand everything about Christianity, I wanted to be a Christian, and I was thankful to God and Jesus. Yeah.
What was that journey like for you in terms of taking perhaps that initial kind of influence and awareness of God and a desire to sort of want some sort of connection with God? How did that sort of play out as you kind of became a teenager and then a young adult? And yeah, what was that journey like?
Yeah. So as I became a teenager, I think it probably became a bit looking back, it became a bit obvious I didn't really get the gospel, in the sense that I probably was doing things more just because of like what Mum and Dad were doing. I chose to go to a different youth group just because it was more fun and like my friends were there. But yeah, I did have a sense as a teenager that I wanted to be a Christian, but at the same time, there was sort of always this tension. I kind of also just wanted to do whatever was the most fun, and sometimes that was youth.
Yes. Now, speaking of fun, dressing up was a thing that was fun for you through that kind of phase. We've definitely seen a bit of that. Do you have a favourite kind of dress up moment that you kind of recall from the many, many, many moments of dress up that just so happened to be across social media?
Oh, well, yeah, I feel like when I dressed up as Tweedledum and Tweedledee with a friend and wore like these big bubble suits, that was pretty funny. It was sort of like wearing a big sumo suit. So yeah, that was probably up there with the faves. Yeah.
Nice. Well, I don't want to interrupt you, but I did just want to kind of, actually mostly I just wanted to get photos of Sarah dressing up on the kind of Pack 5. So we've now done that. You can continue where we left off, but just chasing after fun as like a teenager was your sort of objective.
Yeah, and I guess like, doing what friends did mattered. Like, I guess that's probably a pretty normal thing. And then, as I became 18 and left school and just had heaps more independence, my parents actually moved overseas a year after that, so I had even more independence. Stopped going to church. My friends, even that I went to youth with, weren't really living as Christians, and all my new friends that I made through work weren't Christian. And it was just sort of like this slow, I guess, drift away from God. And for a bunch of years, I was pretty much just chasing, making lots of money at work, buying lots of nice things, partying on the weekend. would never want to deny God, but come on, I didn't really need Jesus. My life was pretty sweet.
Yeah, having chased after that, whether it's the money or the things or the fun or the parties, like what would you want to say to yourself, your 18, 19, 20-year-old self, if you could now, knowing what you know about kind of chasing after those things?
Yeah. I would go back and say, stop spending that money and save it. Stop making a bunch of dumb decisions that you're going to regret. But yeah, I would say to myself, like, check out the gospel. I wasn't truly understanding the gospel at that point. To me, Jesus was sort of this guy that loved me, but I didn't really understand who God was, how holy he was, how bad my sin was. So I never really had that what Jesus has actually done for me on the cross until going to church on my own as, I guess, an adult, and hearing the gospel clearly preached. And that was what just like hit me like a bus. Like I was terrified before God when I realized how holy he was. Yeah. And it was at that point that I recognized my sin. It was just like, this is what I need Jesus for. Yeah. And also recognizing that where this life isn't it.
Yes.
I think that's a big thing.
Yeah.
Even in the churches that I grew up in, it was a very big focus on here and now, being happy. But like eternity is forever. Yes. And right now and here is quite short in comparison. It's very short in comparison. Yes. So I would say to myself, like, what are you doing? Don't be an idiot. Look who Jesus is. Look who what he's done for you. And he's the only thing worth living for.
Yes. Yeah. I think that sense of, when you live for the here and the now, you quickly discover, because it is so short, that life is so short, like it can't actually give you any lasting satisfaction because it actually has an end time. So it doesn't matter whether it's money, whether it's, good times, or even if it's just like happiness and blessing, in the now, like it's got such an end time, and that sense of satisfaction just kind of drifts away so quickly. Hey, I'm keen to try these because I know you've been kind of craving them. So I've been watching them at the table there going, I just need to at least give it a crack.
They're pretty good. They're my favourite. So a little bit fancy. I don't know if they're too fancy for you.
Yeah.
Camembert and fig.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, I got to be honest. I can see why you crave these, to be honest.
Yeah?
Yeah, they're good.
It's good. I'm not going to lie. I've downed entire packets of these multiple times.
Yeah. Wow.
And when Mike tries to share with me, I'm not always the most compliant. So
it is actually very good. It's a very good chip. Hey, last question before we go and do a pregnancy challenge, which we can talk about in a moment. But before we get to that, what does declaring and displaying Jesus look like for Sarah Jontek now? In terms of mum, about to be mum of two, life in Brisbane, a husband kind of working for church, studying. What does that look like for you now?
Yeah, well, Mike and I moved up here to Brisbane because we were keen to proclaim Jesus in southeast Queensland. So, where I guess even where we chose to live, like the street that we chose to buy a house in, we kind of made those decisions based off the fact that we want to be involved with our neighbours, involved in our community. I guess creating relationships where we can proclaim the gospel. And it has been pretty cool. We have maintained some good friendships over the years with some of our neighbours. That's something, our neighbours are people that Mike and I are always praying for. And being a mum has certain restrictions, but also real good opportunities there. Yeah. Even joining local mums groups has been something that I've done pretty intentionally. To make friends, to make, friends for my kids. Yes. But also, with the hope of sharing Jesus with them. And it can be tricky sometimes to get past that mum talk and, we're just talking about our kids and their sleep and their nappies and but at the same time, there is such an opportunity there. Yes. So I guess in this season of life, that's what it looks like for me. It means that during the week, I'm a bit more freed up, that I can actually try to catch up with people to read the Bible. And also, like, part of what I want to do is equip other people as well to be disciple makers, to be proclaiming Jesus as well.
Awesome. You know, we've loved having you guys come up. I think, you know, one of the things that you and Mike have really championed in terms of life is that intentionality around relationship kind of building and development. And I think, you know, the reality is that can apply to anywhere. You can be intentional about the relationships you build at school. You can be intentional about relationships you build in mothers groups, in sporting clubs, and, you know, and wherever you might be at. It might be the mum's talk that you struggle to get past, or the assignment talk that you struggle to get past at school, or the, you know, the statistics and game analysis at the sporting club. But the reality is there are opportunities everywhere to declare and display Jesus to people around us. And I think one of the things we've loved is just the way that you guys have been so intentional in encouraging us to kind of do that. So thanks for coming in and for sharing with us. We're going to do a bit of a pregnancy challenge, because I did mention before I'm a bit of an expert when it comes to you know, navigating all things babies and whatever. And I'm 4-0 undefeated in challenges in terms of the way we go about things here at Pack 5. So confidently, you and I think we're going to go head to head in a challenge to do with being pregnant.
Cool.
Let's make that happen. All right, well.
You're enjoying those, aren't you?
I am. As you can tell, I've suddenly become pregnant. Now, as I've repeatedly said, I'm an expert when it comes to having babies. I'm not quite sure really what all the fuss is about. It does not look that hard. You get to eat food whenever you like. People give you foot massages. And let's be real, this is an easy gig. We are going to go head to head, you and I, in a pregnancy challenge, whereby we will do 3 tests. Sorry, my child is just kicking slightly. Loser needs to eat Nutella out of a nappy. Now, the first challenge is this. You know, you're about to be, well, you already have a little daughter.
Yeah.
I have a little daughter as well. We are going to pick up our children and our daughters, and place them in the car seat. It's a race, and the first person to do that successfully will score the first point.
So put them in, buckle them up.
Put them in, buckle them up.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I'm not really sure. This one doesn't actually have any buckles, so we might just roll with just
Putting them in there.
Sounds like a plan?
Sounds like a plan.
Let's make that happen. Alright, we've got the daughter, got our daughters here, we've got our daughters here, so we're ready. Easy gig, you know, eat food, whatever you want, brilliant chips, foot massages all the time. This is such an easy gig. I'm going to definitely win.
Didn't give me no foot massages.
Shh, sit down, you're on safety. Okay, here we go. We are ready to go. Someone count us in.
3, 2, 1, go.
I nearly gave birth partway through that, to be honest. Alright. Well, that didn't exactly go to plan. Alright. Second challenge coming up. Now, challenge number 2 is, I hear that some women might say it's difficult to paint their toenails whilst pregnant. Well, I am here to show you that is wrong. Now, rules of this, you got to paint all your toes. You can't go outside of the lines. And you got to get all 10 toes. You have 10 toes, right?
Yep.
Good. You got to have all 10 toes covered without going outside the lines. First person to get all 10 wins.
And 3, 2, 1, toes.
See, I have a big belly in the way, and it is.
Well, let's stitch up this. This doesn't even work.
You might have to do a couple of coats with the glitter to get those in. Yeah, see, I'm quite uncomfortable as I do this. That's why my toenails aren't currently painted.
I mean, the fact
This big belly is getting in the way.
How do you have this set already? Yeah. Look at this. Doesn't even work. Oops. Turn out. A bit of polish.
Oh, I messed that one up, but I can fix it.
Oh, they might be a little bit uncomfortable, just saying.
And done.
What? Well, I got close, right?
Oh.
Alright, one more challenge. It's just purely for my dignity, if in fact I have any left. But one more challenge. Final challenge before we get to Nutella nappy eating. We are back. I'm actually quite surprised at how quickly pregnancy has taken to me because pregnancy brain earlier meant that I forgot to put my microphone back on. You know, I was very preoccupied with caring for this dear loved one, and so yeah, completely forgot. So that's why suddenly we have really nice audio for me, whereas previously very reverby and quite in the distance. But it's good to get a microphone back because even though this is just for my own personal dignity, it will be nice to win at least one final challenge before we, well, when I say we, I am going to tuck into that incredibly delicious looking nappy. What a moment that will be for me. You sure you don't want to?
I'm all right. I deal with enough of that each day, so.
Final challenge is this. It is a race to put your shoes on. So we've already done a little bit in terms of the toenails, but now we're going to race to put our shoes on, and so in a chance to reclaim some level of dignity, here's to hoping I can at least get one of the 3 pregnancy challenges. All right, someone count us in for this final challenge while Luke in the corner just continues to add Nutella to that nappy. Let's go.
All right, 3, 2, 1, go.
Let's go. On me.
Quick labour.
I don't really have anything to say. Let's be real, this pregnancy thing is way too hard. Mad respect for my wife, mad respect for anyone who actually is pregnant. That is dead set disgusting. It feels remarkably heavy, like a really bad nappy. All right, let's do it. Well, Sarah, it was a pleasure to have you in the studio. Thank you.
Thank you.
For coming in. We've got a Pack 5 t-shirt for you. We're sort of running a bit low on sizes, but hopefully maybe this will kind of work for you given that you are pregnant, and if not, you can pass it on to Mike. But thank you for coming in. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
I'm gonna
Oh gosh.
clean myself up, and that'll do me.
Hey guys, thanks for checking out our latest video.
Hopefully you liked it. Please stick around at our channel, watch some of our other content, like and subscribe, let others know about the Pack 5 movement, and we'll see you around.